day we wake up and we learn something new, right? And we aspire to try so much in our life, to learn so much in our life, and have unique experiences throughout our life. So now just imagine what kind of experiences and what kind of learnings and what kind of stories would a gentleman with 40 years of profound experience have? Today, I'm very, very delighted to welcome Mr. Arvind Dang, a profound author, exceptional leader, and of course, a thorough gentleman. He's written an amazing book, which we will talk about a little bit today. But moreover, we want to understand more about Mr. Arvind Dang and what makes Arvind Arvind, right? So welcome, Mr. Dang. Lovely to have you here with us. We're absolutely honored to have the pleasure of this discussion with you. Before I go like deep into the book, which I know our viewers and our listeners are very, very curious to find out more about, I just want to open with a question of how are you feeling about becoming an author today? Because I know you've worn so many hats in your life and have led so many teams across all of these years, shared your experiences with so many people, but I have a feeling that this is a different kind of cookie altogether, right? Becoming an author. So share with us how you're feeling.
Thanks, Deepika. Thank you very much, Geetika. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty elated, pretty joyous, pretty satisfied, and above all, feeling pretty blessed to have come out with this book.
Very, very true.
Good,
I,
good.
I, I, I can completely relate to that feeling, Arvindji, because um, uh, I know how writing a book and I still remember, Arvindji, in one of our earlier conversations, you had told me that it's almost like, having a child, having your
Yeah,
own book is like having your baby.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I can vaguely understand where you're coming from on that. And I think, yes, it's also a privilege to have written a book and to be able to share that
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
world.
yeah, sure,
Absolutely.
sure.
Fantastic. Good stuff. So you've done so many things in your life, but when did this idea of penning a book come to you?
Yeah, while in professional life, usually I used to get such kind of compliment that I have good amount of depth, analytic abilities. So that was in the back of my mind. And post my retirement, I have been thinking how to keep myself gainfully engaged. So this idea came to my mind that why not do that? And there are so many friends of mine who are engaged into different kind of social services like NGOs and all that. uh,
Right.
so I thought, let me contribute my own way by sharing my learnings, whatever are there, so that it also reaches large number of people, so that they benefit from my experience. And
Absolutely.
subject was ethics, which is very very close to my heart. And I thought, why not to initiate this idea of propagating these ethics. This is how this inspiration came to me.
Brilliant. Brilliant. No, I think, I think that's the most generous thing I think one can do in their lives to actually give back what you've learned, right? So I think giving back what you learn is at the topmost thing. Giving your time is the second thing, and what most people concoct with giving is money, but I think that is at the third level of the pyramid. But because I think experience is like something which is unmatchable and unique, and it's great that you've shared that. So where did the topic come to you from your mind? Because this topic, I think the moment somebody says ethics to me, the word itself has so much power and it has so much depth, like you said, not, so it has so many depths, so much of layers in it. Uh, why ethics, and what context of ethics have you brought about through your book?
Yeah, ethics. We hear so many stories about what is happening in our life through TV, through newspaper, through friends.
Yeah.
We also know that what happens in many of the organizations,
Hmm.
some things keep on happening. Then we find that organizations are very badly affected by public at large are affected. And this was one of the topic which has been always haunting my mind, that can I do something about it so that it creates some sense of awareness among people. particularly the
Yeah.
youngsters in the youngster, and my objective was that I can't reach the entire population. It is just in the professional business world that I thought I can start contributing. The youngsters who pass out from the colleges and they come, they have no idea, because ethics is not
Mm.
a subject which is taught in the schools or the classes.
Very,
Okay.
very true.
So
That's
I
true.
thought, let me just put my thoughts, and therefore, instead of talking very big things, I thought of going into the granularity level of the each of the business process which I am experienced, and I thought I'll share my perspectives about those, so that particularly the youngsters one, they can just benefit out of this. So that is how it started, and that is why I chose the subject of this business
Ethics,
ethics.
business. Exactly. No, that is so beautifully put, Arvindji, because like you rightly said, some of the most important subjects, sadly, are not taught to us during our educational trainings and all, right? And I, like you rightfully said, ethics and business ethics is one of the most important if you are looking at, a long time career, right? So, and whatever I've also gathered from your book, it's been such an eye opener, because we all have limited view of any subject, and like you said, you've gone in depth into that subject and explained how it touches the various facets of all of your business operations. So that is very well coming through the book as well. So um I'm sure you have achieved so many large projects in your life. So you have the experience of, taking on big challenges and kind of smashing them through. And that is probably how you mentor all of the people that you've helped throughout your career as well. But was writing a book challenging?
Yeah, it has been challenging, but just before that, I also want to share something more with you. That why did I
Sure.
choose the subject of ethics? One more point.
Sure, sure.
See,
Absolutely.
uh, in my free time, not only now, but during my youngster days while in college or university or in job, I was very fond of reading this religious scriptures. Okay,
Hmm.
for example, this Gita, or whether it is Vedas, whether it is Subsagar and all that, Ramayana, etc. So there, one of the main, theme of all these books, including Granth Sahib, Guru Granth Sahib, is that one has to pursue ethics. One has to pursue ethics in life, and that was also one of my perspective, that why not to write something more practical about in the business life. That is how
Yeah,
this was one of paramount paramount point in my mind, that let me choose a subject, and
yeah.
that's how ethics also came to my mind. Okay.
Right, right. No, very, very true. Because the moment, especially the younger generation, the moment we say ethics, I think the first thing that pops into your mind is moral ethics and things like that. And a lot of times, people tend to brush that off. Ki, like we know about all this. ये सब तो हमको पता है. ये तो हमें पता है ये क्या करना चाहिए life में क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, kind of thing, right? But the fact that this is almost like an underlying way of being a professional, a way of doing your business, right?
Correct.
Which people forget that there is a very, very close connection
Yeah,
between
yeah.
ethics and the business that you run or the business that you work for, right? And definitely, I think the people needed to hear. In fact, I remember one of our discussions, we were even talking about there are not many books
Yes.
out there, on this subject per se.
हाँ, in business ethics में बहुत कम है, very
Huh.
little, particularly covering the nitty-gritty and the details. There are hardly
Huh.
any books on the
Correct. I think most of the books
at the
are,
micro level. At the
huh,
micro level.
exactly at a macro level, introducing the topic at a very conceptual kind of a point of view. But you've actually gone through section by section, chapter by
Yeah,
chapter,
yeah,
point
yeah.
by point.
I went through what is called the at the granularity level, so that the
Right.
understanding of the practitioner is better.
Exactly. And I think when you bring out an element of execution and the impact that it has on business, that is when, people really understand and digest the implication and
Correct,
importance
correct,
of that
correct,
particular subject.
correct, correct.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that bit. Definitely needed to be told. Good stuff. So, Hanji, so you were telling me about your experience or the challenge
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
writing
yeah,
itself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think a major challenge to me in writing book was primarily what I called it that writing paralysis.
Right. Okay.
Too much
Well
overwhelming.
put.
So,
Ah,
so I had to do so much of rework a number of times, and that was initially causing me a bit of frustration and causing me anxiety. But then I said, if I'm doing it for the benefit of the readers, and while writing book, one thing which I kept prime in my mind was that for whom I am writing this book and उसको क्या benefit होने वाला है.
ah,
What is in it for the reader? So that
right.
perspective I kept, and therefore many things which I thought need to be there when I looked at book from that perspective, and many things got erased out. So that is
Ah.
how I could overcome this problem of this this writing.
Writing paralysis. Very interesting theory. I will use your writing paralysis theory. Okay. Yeah, no,
And one more thing which I read
huh,
somewhere,
huh,
I do read on the internet or otherwise in the books also. एक author ने लिखा था मुझे नाम याद नहीं आ रहा particularly for the budding authors that
hmm.
start a book one and then finish it.
Hmm.
So,
Very true, very profound. I know. शुरू तो सब कर लेते हैं. It is like my own weight loss regime. कई बार शुरू करा है.
so finishing it is a very big challenge.
Right, right,
Uh,
right.
so one has to
Absolutely.
draw, and the author has to draw a line कहाँ पे मुझे finish करना है.
कहाँ पे exactly, and I think that is something which comes from within only. You know, जो कहते हैं ना अंदर की पुकार, that discipline will come from inside only. But yeah, that was a very very neat trick, very apt way of deciding where to stop, what to do, how to move ahead. Always keep the reader in mind, right?
Right.
Because kabhi kabhi hota hai na, like you would now know that when you're writing, it's so personal that it's almost like a self-obsessive kind of exercise, and everything hum dil pe lete hain kind of thing, right? But you have to understand that if you're writing a journal or your personal diary, it's for yourself. But if you're writing a book, then it's for the reader. So you have to keep the reader in mind, and then your decision making becomes faster,
Yeah, and
easier.
yeah, one more thing which I remember during my initial training sessions with you, one of the things which you told, and वो मेरे दिमाग में embed हो गया, बैठ गया. अरे यार तुम कितना ज्ञान दोगे दुनिया को?
Very true. Very true, very true. वो लोग मुझे भी कहते हैं ना, तो वो मेरा भी embedded है mind में.
So keep that to the relevant
Yes,
part only. There's no point in
yes.
showing to the world that I am both ज्ञानी. क्या? What?
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. Never write to impress. Always write to express.
Yes, yes.
Right. So if you made your point, stop there. It's like that. But I know that your amount of gyan is genuinely huge, which is why I from what I understand, people are going to be delighted with more books coming out on this, right?
Small, one step.
So yeah,
Good.
fantastic, fantastic. So Arvind, I think our viewers will definitely have started to get an essence of what the book is about. But why don't you tell in your words essentially what is this book about and how will it help the reader?
Yeah, this book is primarily, although the title of the book is that Ethics in Real Estate, and specifically in the context of architects and interior designers and MEP, who are the main players in this design functions in the real estate. But the book is also having many chapters. Out of the total 18 chapters, there are a good number of chapters which are also dedicated for which will meet the requirement of, for example, the HR. Okay, for example,
Yes.
HR competence. What kind of competences these architects and interior designers and MEP designers they need to possess? What kind of key performance indicators should be there for them? How to assign the roles to different people? So these are the kind of software issues which are also very important. These are relevant for them. Similarly, there are some aspects which are related to the, statutory compliances which are required to be there. There are some aspects with respect to the legal requirements. Okay, some aspects related to how to bring about good computerization or digitalization in the context of this. You see, I have focused in the book not much on the technical part of the designing function. वो तो सारे के सारे जितने भी आर्किटेक्ट्स या इंजीनियर्स हैं यानी कि बंदे हैं वो सब ज्ञानी हैं
वो तो
और
सब वैसे ही एक्सपर्ट है, हाँ.
knowledgeable. So my objective was to bring something more about the management perspectives as a entrepreneur. If a person is running a design function as a MD of a design function, what are the things we should be looking at? Because जो nitty gritty है designing की, there are so many softwares which are there, AutoCAD and Pro and
Yeah.
Revit and all that. I am not talking much about that because वो सबको मालूम होता है. I was talking about the other software issues which are relevant. So this book is relevant not only for these three design profile persons, but also for there are some aspects covered about the finance. There are some aspects covered about the risk managers, internal auditors, etc., etc. So these are covered there, and I think those people who have gone through the website, they will find
Yes.
some of the blogs which are there, which are covering these.
Yes. Yes, I myself was going through it a couple of days back, and I think the website is like another gem, I would say, in addition to the book, and it gives a lot of information in addition to the book. Just like you're saying, your book itself is like everything additional, everything that you don't learn in your education, and everything which you probably don't get an exposure to on a day-to-day basis, the opportunity to learn, the kind of soft skills, or the kind of other additional information which you actually need to grow in these functions, right? In these managerial functions. I think your website itself is also one such gem. It's almost like an extension of the book in many ways, your
Yeah,
blogs and
we
all which you
agree.
are coming up with now.
A great contribution from your end, from Srishti and you all, that who helped in making this possible. And good thing is that this is getting good number of hits. I think the book was launched about 37, 38 days ago, or in India, and I think about 15 days, 9th July it was launched here, 13, 12, 13 days, and till within just such a short time, it has got more than 9,000 views, and
Wow.
there are about 5,400 users who have reached your this website, and
Mm.
out of that, so many 5,000 plus users, I think one third are from overseas. It's very encouraging.
Wow, that's a very interesting analytics, Arvindji. Yeah, which just shows it shows the relevance
Yes.
and applicability of
Yeah.
the book's topic itself, right?
And your team helped a lot in in terms of putting Google Analytics on this website and bringing about SEO, etc. So these
Mm.
helped a lot.
Mm.
And just to come back to the point which you said about the learning, yeah, these are the new things which I learned after becoming an author.
Absolutely. And people think author is just about writing,
No,
but
no,
it's so much more. It's
it's
there is this buzzword which people keep using, authorpreneur. मेरे को तो लगता है authorpreneur से भी it is much more, because like you said, you learn so many new things.
and my age, which is 69 plus, I mean, it holds true very much that there is no age for learning.
Absolutely. No. Kudos on that. This is so truly inspirational, Arvindji. Absolutely. And in fact, just before we started this conversation today, you were just telling me about your YouTube as well, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. So,
Just initiated
uh,
that, this is also new learning. I mean, how to create a profile on the YouTube, in fact, how to make a YouTube, which is having your
channel.
presentation
Yeah.
plus your, video. I mean, this is a new technology one has to learn through, this internet, something very.
Bilkul. There is no age to learning, and there is no limit to what you can learn. But the most important thing is that when you learn, share and give back. just like you are doing, which is so inspirational, Arvindji. Also, in fact, it just made me think. So I also do these our weekly Monday meetings. Like other than Monday ko, it goes in internal discussion, and things like that. And thank you for all the tips, by the way, which you've been sharing also. Uh, but we used to like discuss lots of projects, lots of things, and all that stuff. But these days, I start off last 3 weeks now. I start off with a different question. Kya seekha last week? And the first time I said it, everybody was like, I mean, they were looking at their to-do list and everything, and they were like, "Ye kahan se aa gaya question?" But then I explained to them that, see, ultimately you have to learn something new every week. That is how you will grow, we will grow, our authors will grow along with us. So what new have you learned? Pehle to start from there, फिर operational चीजें आएंगी सारी.
Very good initiative. Very good initiative.
Yeah. Right. Okay, fantastic. So I know this book is the result of your will, your determination. But then, like I keep using and abusing this word throughout the last 30 minutes, your experience. So anything that you would like to share about anything through your 40 years that inspired you, or any moment of high or any moment of low that taught you something, anything that you would want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I think in life, whichever profession we are, obviously there will be highs and lows. There will be. And one learning which I have is that एक तो अपने आप को compare मत करो किसी से. Never compare yourself with someone. You know. Okay. Otherwise, you will feel let down. Number two, each one is unique. Every person is unique. For example, I am just going diverging a bit. Look at a small ant and look at an elephant. Small ant can kill a elephant, isn't it?
Yes, I've heard that. Yes, very true.
Yeah. So every human being has got some characteristics, unique characteristics. Be proud of that and try to make best use of that in yourself. किसी से compete करने की जरूरत नहीं है इस मामले में. At the end of life, what we will carry to the gods is that हमने क्या अच्छे कर्म किए, हमने क्या दुनिया के लिए किया है. Not our positions, not our affluence, not our wealth. How much fortunes I have accumulated? No, nothing. So in case you are low, keep on trying, keep on trying, keep on trying. Again, the story of the ant going up the hill and ultimately able to go. So keep confidence in yourself and keep on trying, and you will accomplish. And when you are very very low, just relax, perform some prayers or meditation. You will come out of that low place of life. That is my belief.
Lovely. No, thank you so much for sharing that, Arvindji. Absolutely right. I think our younger generation tends to forget a lot of these important things in the race of life, as I call it, right? Running, goals, dreams, and we forget about what the core essence of life is at the end of the day. And we start measuring our life with, I would say, the wrong yardsticks, right? And like you rightfully said, it's everybody is unique, correct? And and only a wise man can say this, that when you start comparing yourself to other people, लोग गलत सोचते हैं मेरे ख्याल से कि जब आप दूसरों से compare करोगे तो आप rise up होगे. मेरे को, like you rightfully said, जब आप दूसरों से compare करते हो, all that you understand is your own shortcomings. That's about all. And if you keep delving into that, all you will do is go down that spiral of feeling like मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ, मैं loser हूँ, everybody is better than me. Instead, focus on your strengths. Like you said, everybody has some strengths, and if you can focus on that and use that to give back to the people, then your job here is done.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So much of wisdom and so much of inspiration. Who has been your inspiration, Arvindji?
See, I had shared earlier also, and now also I'm saying these inspiration models in life, they have been changing with my age. बचपन में parents were the inspiration models. Okay, स्कूल में, कॉलेज में, यूनिवर्सिटीज में teachers were the inspiration models.
जी,
Okay,
right,
and
right.
for by teacher I don't mean only academic teacher. The teacher,
Yeah.
like even the person who is higher in knowledge than me, he or she has been my inspiration. For example, in this case, you are much more knowledgeable about the books. Srishti is much more knowledgeable about this website matters. Okay,
Yeah,
Purva, with whom I have been dealing, she
yeah.
has so much good in project management. So these are all my gurus, and I learn. I sincerely telling you, I get a lot of inspiration from them. Okay,
If
these are these are
if
these are these are
if
my.
if somebody just took away this tiny little takeaway from our conversation, I think you would have been touching so many lives and even professional lives, for that matter, so to speak. A lot of us don't think like that. We only think in terms of ranks, growth, position, pay packet, things like that, and we associate that with where we have reached. But this definition of teacher and the art of learning something from everyone, not everyone has. So guys, everybody listening
And
out there, this
beside
is the
beside this, I think one has to respect everyone. One has to respect,
Huh,
and this is what I learned. Good thing from my wife, who's unfortunately no more there. That सबको प्यार दो, सबको इज्जत दो. This is a very fundamental moral principle of life. That सबको प्यार दो, चाहे आपके घर में डोमेस्टिक है, आपका ड्राइवर है, जो भी है, हर एक से प्यार से उसको रिस्पेक्ट दो, इज्जत दो, उससे भी कुछ सीखो. And these people also have something to give to you. I mean,
sure.
they have gone through very difficult phases of life, poverty and all that. And how do they manage? So you have to learn everything from them. Just because we happen to be in a much higher strata of life doesn't mean that we can't learn from them. We can learn from everything. And मैं आपको यही कह रहा हूँ, छोटी सी मेरी definition है, anyone from whom you can learn, he or she is your role model. He is your inspiration model. बस simple,
Right, 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 right.
very simple.
No, no, I know this is also very close to your heart, Arvindji, and I know you said that she's not there, but she's very much there. I can even feel her in your voice when you speak about her. It is not just the book dedication which you've dedicated to her, but I think she's continuing to be present in your life.
Above all, I mean, of course, this may be what I'm saying is relevant for people of my age, but I think youngsters can also draw something. कुछ हफ्ते में 15 दिन में कुछ समय read some religious scriptures. They will give you a lot of values. Whichever
Mm.
profession you are a Hindu, you're Muslim, you're
Yeah,
Christian, you are whatever you
yeah,
are.
whatever you
So I
inspires you.
think these religious books, uh, उनको पढ़ेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ नई चीज सीखने को मिलेगी अबाउट द मॉरल्स एंड एथिक्स इन लाइफ.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं आप. एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना, with the younger generation, we start associating the scriptures with religions, and we start, जैसे आजकल होता है ना कि I'm not religious, or I'm not spiritual, or I'm an atheist, so why should I read that? But actually, like you rightfully said, these books are, if you keep the religion part aside, right, the books itself are pure gold in terms of the rights, the wrongs, the ways of living, you know, what one should think about, what one should do with their life. So they have so much to teach,
And I'm
which
telling you,
is
each
like
type of, I
pure
mean,
gold.
yeah, I have gone through many of the religious books of different scriptures, different regions, and there is a nectar lying there. अमृत है,
Mm,
अमृत. उनको थोड़ा सा
बिल्कुल.
समझो, तो I mean, you will feel contented and happy in life. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're all searching for meaning of life, purpose of life, what to do with our lives. Actually, if we start reading these profound things of thousands of years ago, it's not that the answers are there, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it just opens up your own thinking and opens up the doors in your head so that you can connect the dots, come up with your own answers,
And
you know?
money is not everything in life. And I read somewhere, पढ़ा मैंने क्या, something very good I learned, so very very
Hmm.
good, and that
Okay.
satisfies me. वो है कि are you a rich person? So if you ask me, I am a rich, am I a rich person? No. Otherwise, world will say, you will say, I am a middle class person. Yes, I am. But otherwise, I will tell you, I am a rich person. Why I am a rich person? Why I am a rich person? Very simple definition. My expenses are lower than my earnings. So I am a rich person.
Simple. Actually, right. हाँ. इसीलिए वो पुरानी वो कहावत भी होती थी ना, वो चद्दर फैलाओ समथिंग, कुछ ऐसा होता था ना. हाँ, जितना समथिंग समथिंग कुछ ऐसा होता था.
So
Right, right.
as long as my earning is able to take care of my expenses,
Yeah,
and I am a
exactly.
rich man. I'm a rich person. Simple. So
I think you just sorted out one of life's biggest problems for a lot of us.
see, everybody can't be Bill Gates.
हाँ,
Everybody
but
can't be Ambani.
yeah,
ओके
that's
तो
okay.
सो ये फार्मूला अगर माइंड में रखोगे आपको बहुत तसल्ली होगी एंड यू विल नॉट डू एनी मिसडीड्स कुछ आपका गलत काम नहीं करोगे ग्रीड नहीं करोगे गलत काम नहीं करोगे
And not compromise on ethics.
यस
Right. So what would Arvind Dang's life vision be then in that case? I mean, I'm now very interested in knowing that after this
आई थिंक
amazing conversation.
I have reached a stage of a life where warranty period is over by the way. So I think now the vision is simply that whatever learning I have spread the goodness, spread values in life, and spread ethics in life. Whoever you can touch the life of people, I'll be my good contribution. I think it is now just simply promoting this concept of ethics,
Yeah.
which is which is pretty missing what you hear on the TV and particularly the news about the politicians and all that. You also hear about the what happened in organization business also. You know,
Hmm.
you heard what happened in Satyam and in India, for
Yeah,
example. So
absolutely.
ऐसे बहुत सारी stories world में all over है stories हैं. So I think one has to spread this word of ethics.
Hmm.
But something important in the business context is this ethics starts with the CEO level, the owner level, the promoter level.
Right.
He or
Yeah.
she has to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
He or she has to do the work. Has to
Hmm.
do the whatever talking they have to do the work. It
Hmm.
begins from there because youngsters they emulate whatever their owners,
Very
promoters
true.
are doing.
Like like they say, right? Culture is top down. You
And
know.
I was the very lucky, fortunate to have worked in
Hmm.
a company called iShared, where I spent more than 29 years. Excellent ethical culture, excellent ethical culture. And it throughout,
Yeah. Yeah.
started
Yeah.
from the promoters.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that is what makes companies exceptional, I believe. It's not the balance sheet, but it's the culture. Right. And I think if the culture is right, the balance sheet is a byproduct. वो अपने आप सब कुछ things fall into place. Right?
Yeah, in iShared, the promoters also used to say, and they were the Mr. Lal,
Okay.
Mr. Lal and Mr. Siddharth Lal. I mean, they were always giving more focus on the process, not on the result,
Ah,
on the process. How the process is done. Is this done
right.
correctly, ethically, or no?
Right.
Result is a byproduct.
Right. No, very well put. Because I think sabhi log, we are just running for the output, right? But input and the rightness of the input, the correctness of the way you get there, you know,
So, so,
the end doesn't always justify the means. I tell people also, right? That,
so this is the learning from my professional life that give more importance to process, and that is how my book became so thick and so many great.
I have to show everybody this book. Yeah. And like you saying, half thick, right? 700 pages plus thing.
377 text pages and rest are supporting annexures to make this understood by the readers.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, which is why I said pure gem. I,
So
I
my,
could,
so
I
my,
could,
so yeah, so I think I have given more focus on the process rather than on the results.
yeah, fantastic. Right. Arvind, any parting words to our, um, I know we have a lot of professionals also watching this. We also have a lot of aspiring authors watching this. So any words of parting
Yeah,
words of
yeah,
wisdom
yeah,
to,
yeah. ऑथर्स के लिए मुझे ये जरूर कहना है कि it is always prudent, it is always wise to get some guidance, to have some coach like your company is providing that. That that clears a lot of doubts in your mind. Okay, have some coaching guidance from some good professionals who can guide you how to write a book.
Right.
Number one. Number two, follow that principle, start karo or finish karo.
Hmm.
And
Number.
avoid that writing paralysis. And third, one very important thing is that God lies in details. Go to detail.
Yes.
God lies in details. Go to detail
Yes.
about whatever you are writing. Don't leave it at the abstract level. And
Hmm.
therefore, uh, provide supporting examples, illustrations, etc., so that readers can understand. And above all, think like a reader.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What benefit I am going to give to the reader?
Yeah.
And last but not the least about this, which in fact I learned from you, which I'm realizing also, that never keep the money perspective in mind that मेरे को इससे quality मिलेगा पैसा मिलेगा. No. Your vision has to be, yes, am I contributing something for the well-being of the society of the readers? Keep that perspective.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those were like golden nuggets that you shared with us, Arvindji. In fact, while you were speaking also, some bulbs were going on in my head. I remember this line also, uh, uh, God lies in the details. I think it's there in your introduction or somewhere as well. I remember when I myself was reading it, it kind of hit me and it struck me right then and there. But yes, very rightly put. This is one journey where it always helps to have somebody alongside you. Um, Definitely most important to not just start. A lot of people start, but the victory is in actually finishing, right? And go into the details, very rightly put, because I think a lot of people, um, uh, you know, um, don't go deep into a topic, but it's, I think when you go deep inside a topic, you get the real essence out, right? Out of it, right? Which has not been spoken about before. And of course, keep the reader in mind. Yes,
Yeah,
thoroughly important, because for a lot of people it becomes almost like a I've noticed this, writing sometimes becomes like a vanity driven
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
exercise. Yeah, that is why sometimes people call it vanity writing, vanity publishing, right? Because it all becomes about you yourself. But by keeping the reader in mind, I think you stay honest to the topic of the book and the purpose of the book. um that was amazing, Arvindji. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah. One more thing which I want to
huh,
tell the potential future authors is that
huh,
writing and finishing the book and
huh.
getting published is not the end of the story. One has to market it. Okay.
Oh, I know. You're soon going to become a marketing guru also.
No, no, I'm saying is that there is so much of learning with social
Yes.
media, and one has to learn. Once the book is finished, one has to learn Google, one has to learn Google Ads, one has to learn Facebook Ads, one has to learn YouTube, one has to learn so many different kind of options which are available nowadays, and start preparing for advertising. But otherwise, how will the world know that who is
Very
Arvind
true.
Dang,
Very
who
true.
is
Actually, very rightfully put. And I think it's a beautiful way also to kind of come towards the end of our conversation, because I think you rightly said it's important for budding writers, aspiring writers, authors to remember that writing the book is not the end goal, right? I think that's like a starting point to a new journey altogether. It's about, of course, writing the book, getting published is a big milestone in itself, no doubt. But it's actually the beginning of the whole entire journey of what the book can do for you, what you can do with the book. And that's where all of the important elements which you are talking about in terms of making your book reach the readers, just like your book. Now it's reaching, countries across the globe. People are looking at it. People are starting to think about this topic. Soon they will start reading the book, right? So investing your time, effort, money, post book publishing into marketing, into, jisko kehte hain na, I would call it giving your book wings, helping it to fly
Yeah, yeah,
and reach
just to add
readers.
to what you are saying, let me tell the budding authors also that whatever time and energy they had spent in writing the book, getting it published, उतना ही effort लगेगा आपको marketing में. I mean, marketing means not only just giving ads, it is also
Yeah.
writing blogs. It is writing so many new ideas for the potential readers that not limited to the contents of your book, but otherwise also the chapter, the matters associated with your book. Okay, so one has to do good amount of time in this contributing to this marketing efforts.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, very, very, very rightfully said. Brilliant. This we've stretched the half an hour, but I think it's time wisely invested, right? Because this was, all our conversations are lovely. I always leave our conversations, leave our meetings, Arvindji, feeling like I've learned so much, and I feel like, I've gained from the meeting so much, and it's always such a pleasure to converse with you.
Now, at the
Um,
end, I would like to just profoundly thank your entire team in making it possible. Without that support, it was just not possible. Yes, there have been, in our case, also ups and downs, but that's a part of the life. That's a part of the life. तो बहुत आपके जो टीम है उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया. I must
Thank
say
you.
that.
Thank you. They're right now smiling, I'm sure, everywhere. I still remember the email which you sent to us, Arvindji. You know,
Yes, yes.
oh my God, everybody, we have like a internal group on WhatsApp, and everybody started taking screenshots. Deepika, madam, ye dekho, look at this, look at this. I'm like, okay. They're like, no, 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 this is more important than any of your mamas. आपसे तो हमें नहीं चाहिए.
The person who deserves compliments, he or she gets it. Simple.
No, but I that is very true. But I think a lot of us forget that in the rat race, right? The important things, to appreciate everybody and to take everybody along with you, because nothing happens on its own alone, right? It's always a group, it's always a team, which makes things happen.
Nowadays,
But
what is term is coined as, I think, entire ecosystem. Huh?
हाँ, correct, ecosystem, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, absolutely. Yes, yes. Well, it is something like जो movies में वो क्या शाहरुख खान का dialogue था or something, right? जब आप चाहते हो तो सारी कायनात something something आपके लिए करते हैं, तो
Yeah,
अब that कायनात has become ecosystem now.
one more thing which I want to tell the authors, potential
Yeah.
authors, is that something which I read in one book. Yeah, in case you, mm, in case you decide to accomplish something, the entire world conspires to make it happen.
Yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely.
Once
You have to take that first step, and then
entire
things
world
fall
is,
into place. The universe will help you
yes,
to,
yes.
it's almost like they talk about manifestation these
I
days,
think the
right?
alchemist. I think the
Huh.
book was the chemist. I think so.
Sorry,
The Alchemist book.
alchemist. Yes, yes, possibly, possibly. Yeah,
उसमें था ये. The entire world is there to conspire to make it happen in case you're determined to accomplish something. So I'm
yeah.
just telling this potential authors, determination आप रखो, बाकी सारा world आपको support करेगा.
Areva, I think that is exactly what they wanted at the end to hear from you, Arunji, that बस अब शुरू हो गए, बाकी सब कुछ हो जाएगा. Right.
It was so
Right.
nice, so nice interacting with you.
No, no, totally, totally my pleasure, Arvindji. And I think the pleasure of everybody watching us and listening to your lovely words. I wouldn't like to say goodbye at this point. I would like to say till we meet again.
Yes.
Hopefully very soon our conversations will go on. And for everybody out there, ethics is very much available on Amazon India, as well as all of the Amazons across the world, as well as all the top retailers also across the world. So let not your location be the barrier. As long as you decide to get to know more about this topic, which I think is essential for everybody, like you said, not just the people, professionals in the real estate or hospitality or design industry, but even other functions as well, right? I think it's a gem. So I look forward to more and more readers reading this and sharing their feedbacks with us as well. So let the conversations flow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Arvindji, for joining us here today. Totally a pleasure. Wish you the very best in your new exciting journey
Same.
as an author. And yes, whether you like it or not, I am now with you all the way.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Right. Thank you, Arvindji. Bye-bye.